I run Bakwuds Skateboards out of Louisa, Virginia, and today we're back in the warehouse. We're back in the shop, and we're going to be doing a couple of different things today. I'm glad that you're joining me today. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to try to clear out some of this mess that I have here. Allow me to show you. I've got some built up assortment of projects that I've been working on the last couple of days. So we're going to have to make some space because we also are going to be working on two different shapes today. One of them I have going. I started yesterday. Let me show you right there. This is one of them. We started this bad boy yesterday, but we did not have time to finish it. Now I'm hoping today we will be able to take some time and finish it. It's going to be a wide boy. It's 10.5 inches wide. Right now I think it's 32 1/4. But if you remember, we had a little bit of a chip out. Had a little bit of a problem when we were cutting it. Now this rarely ever happens, but this is okay. We're going to be coming past that to make a shorter tail anyways. Now, as far as our secondary shape we're going to be making, it's actually right back here. I have you can see the nose of it poking out right there. We're going to be copying that one, but like I said, we got to get to it first. So I'm going to try to take a minute here, excuse me, and organize some of this stuff. I don't know quite what I'm going to do with all of it yet. It has been building up on me quite fast, and you know, I gotta make some space here so I can continue working on these other projects and these other orders that have been coming in. And I'd like to also mention, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about what I am doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please feel free to let me know in the comments section below. Otherwise, I do appreciate you guys being here. Now, I would like to double check something here. If I could, am I live? I just don't know. Is it public? Yeah, it must be public. Somebody's watching it right now. So, anyways, I was doing a couple of private videos just to double check some of my settings, and it wasn't working. Just like this is not working. That is just gonna have to be like that for now. We're just gonna let it ride. So we're gonna set that over there. This is more or less the shape that we're gonna be going for. We're turning this, we're turning this one right here into this one right here. Now this is only 9.5, this 10.5. So we're gonna try to mix and match, make it work. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I do appreciate you guys being here and joining me for this Bakwuds workshop session. Let me turn the camera down just a little bit. You can get a little bit better view. Now, I'm going to set this aside also because I don't need it for now. Let's set this over here against the wall. I don't need it, so we're just gonna leave it there. Now I have some other trash here. I think I need some shop maintenance, like trash shop maintenance. Alright, get our heat gun out of here because we're not gonna need that for the next little while. Okay, set this stuff up here. Like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know. I would like to show you some of these boards though. I've been having these set aside for a while. These are some 5-plies with some junk on them. These, I've added a layer of carbon fiber to them. There you go, you can see a bunch of it right there. So, taking my spin at creating the 5-ply. I have tested these out. I have one of these right now I'm riding actually, and it's performing really well. So I'm going to be very excited to start selling these very soon. I can give you a little brief little brief test here and let you see the strength. Now this is obviously just on the shop floor, so it's not going to be too telling. But that's, oh, hold on now. The camera's drifting away on me. Okay, maybe it'll stay. Maybe it'll stay. Anyways, so we're looking pretty good, pretty strong right now. Doesn't have, there's a little bit of bend in it, but it's going to be okay. We're still working on it. We're still getting it going. So I'm very excited to have those happening. If you have any questions about these, please feel free to let me know. If you'd like to try one out, also please let me know. We can work out something, some kind of deal. I can shape you up something. I think these are all 5 plies. No. This one might be a 6 ply. I've been doing 6 plies also. I think it's a 6 ply. No, well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's a 7 ply. It's a regular. Stuff is sharp. Gotta be careful around that. And this one is just another 7 ply. So we're gonna set these. I cut myself on that. Would you believe that? Okay, so we got those set off to the side. We're gonna move this stuff out the way so we can begin working on our shape over there. Like I said, my shop has been somewhat in shambles lately because I've been having so many projects I've been working on. I actually have a new shop I'm working on building, which I did today. And that's going to be much bigger. It's going to be what I think will be needed for what I'm doing here. I just running out of space every time I turn around. Like I said, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please let me know in the comments section below. I'd be happy to answer them. But otherwise, I do appreciate you being here while I build skateboards and clean out my shop, which is just filthy. But it's just what you got to work with sometimes. That carbon fiber really did cut me. That's a shame. That's a shame. Okay, let's step over here. I may end up opening up the door a little bit. So this is our shape we're going to be working on. Excuse me. I apologize. So like I said, this is going to be a 10.5 inch wide. Our wheelbase, I think we're doing 15, if I'm not mistaken. 15 inch wheelbase, so it's going to be a nice cruiser. It's going to be nice. It's going to turn nice and wide for you. That's what you're looking for. Our length currently, we're actually at 32 3/4. We're going to drop that down considerably when we hit the sander over here, which looks like it's so far away now. So we're going to slide over here to the sander and start working on that. Like I said, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, please feel free to hit me up. I'll try to answer them best I can. So let's bring it a little bit closer. Right about there, I think should work. Okay, now the next section is going to be a little loud. So if you do have any questions, please type them in. I won't be able to, you probably won't be able to hear me too well. But what we're going to try to do is, you can see my lines, we're not quite right. So I got to smoothen that out. There you go. See that? We're going to get rid of all this extra nonsense right here from when I cut it with the jigsaw. So, only takes a minute on this bad boy. But here we go. take a minute and stop and show you what we've done so far. So, we used the flat edge right there to try to get these edges nice and flat. Now, some boards will have a curve on them. Most of them will be flat like this. You have the same measurements on your kicktails. So let me answer that real quick. I apologize. Let me step aside. So, same measurements on my kicktails. So if you're meaning the angle, this is a mellow shape. So this actually has a specific nose and a specific tail. The 5 set I was working on yesterday are twins, which I have a whole bunch of them right here on the ground. There you go. They're behind the sawhorses. You'll just have to believe me. But yeah, so I can get twins if you like twins. I can get the mellows if you like mellows. So besides that, what we've done is we've straightened out that edge right there. There we go. Made it nice and flat. We still have a little bit of work to do. Same on this one. Still a little bit of work to do to get that precise. And then of course the nose, or the tail and the nose. So we're going to step over here and do that next. Okay, I got wires. I got wire problems here. Wire problems. Let me get this thing situated because it's just not working for me. There we go. Miss Blanks that didn't have a defined tail, nose, awesome content though. Thank you. Thank you very much. If you have any other questions, please feel free to let me know. I can do custom shapes of the twins if you need a twin. I can do mellows if you need a mellow. I have steeps. I even have super steeps. Let me show you this real quick. These super steeps are out of control here. I don't get too many requests for these super steeps, so I don't carry many of them. But look at the concave on this super steep. It's kind of hard to tell, but this thing will flex your foot when you're standing on it. Like even, this is my hand. Look at that. It's a deep dish ass concave. So if you like this kind of stuff, I can shape you up one of those. If you're into more mellow kind of shapes like I am, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's just what we got. Like I said, I only keep a couple of those on the rack here just because I don't sell too many of them. They are a specialized kind of thing for some people. Some people don't want that kind of shape. I apologize for all that camera shaking. So we're going to start cleaning up this thing right here. Get this thing smoothed back out. We're going to get this smoothed out and try to work past this little problematic area here. If I have to reshape another one, then so be it. That's what I'm going to end up doing. So anyways. Here we go. Once I start getting it going, I don't go off my lines anymore. I look at the back of it. And as you can see, it's not quite right. This one has a little more pitch to it than this one does. That's alright, that's why we're doing it. do just a little bit more on that one to get it right. So. Pretty good. We're looking pretty good. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. It's looking pretty even, pretty smooth right now. I think we might have had it. What do you guys think? Alright, we're going to work on that tail now, try to get this thing straightened out. Sorry about that. I got so focused on what I was doing, I didn't pay attention to the screen. My apologies. Let me tighten that up. Alright, so maybe I can get this going a little bit better. There we go. So, let's get back to it. Starting to get somewhere. Okay. So, preliminary, looking a lot better. See, we're almost right at the very end of that. Not a problem at all. Now, as far as our shape goes, it looks pretty good, but I think I'm going to tighten it up a little bit on the wick. What do you think? Make it a little narrower? We're going to give it a go. Okay, so I think I got what I'm looking for. Gotta be careful with that. Give it a second for that machine to turn off. That way you can hear me. I can take a second to adjust my camera. There we go. Now you guys can see maybe just a little bit better. You can hear me, hopefully now too. I apologize about the camera falling down. You get focused on what you're doing, you lose control or lose track of what is happening. And that's just what you get. All right. So like I said, I shaved in the tail section just a little bit to give it just a little bit more of a inset kind of feel to it. Now if you look down the edge of it, it looks pretty good, right? Like, that's a nice shape. I like that. Look at that curve. You see that? That's nice. Now, since we got our rough shape, like I said, we didn't follow our lines exactly. We'll probably end up tightening that up just a little bit more. Now that we have our nose and our tail defined pretty well, we can probably trim that down just a little bit. So we're going to step back over to our sander, our flat sander, and I'm going to try to get a little bit closer to these lines. Now I could just do it on the bag sander, which I have done before, but that can be quite exhausting. So before we do that though, I'm going to turn around. It's a rainy day out here today. I don't know if it's raining where you guys are, but it's raining its ass off. So we're going to get some of that nice breeze coming in from the rain for us. I'm going to turn that on too, actually. There we go. Get some of this dust out of here. I've been just swimming in dust. Okay, like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please let me know in the comments section below. We're going to keep shaping this bad boy right here, 10.5 inch wide. Eventually it's going to be 31.5 long, 15 inch wheelbase on a mellow shape, which means it does have in this case it's actually a steeper tail, because I reversed the mold when I made this one. So instead of it having a steeper nose, which I love a steep nose, I switched it around so it has a steep tail, not so steep nose. So this is a cruiser, so you're going to want something with a nice, look at that, that's going to be nice flex, nice pop. There you go, there's the nose. Okay, so I digress. Let me keep going back to what we're doing. We got it. So, now that we have that going, we're going to move on to our bag sander. Now this thing's really cool. If you've never worked with one of these, oh, there I go again with the camera bullshit. Sorry, pardon the language. So if you're not familiar with the bag sander here, it's a very specialized tool. Some machine shop, or not machine shops, wood shops might use it. Others probably not so much, because you do specialized things with it. So it's filled with air, obviously, being a bag sander. And you can add pressure or take pressure away however you need to. And now in our case, I keep it somewhat medium pressure. I don't know the exact quantity pressure. You don't need a machine or anything to do it. You can actually just have a bike pump. Totally works. But there's only a handful of companies that make this apparatus. This is a custom apparatus for one of these drum flat sanders. So Like I said, it's a specialized thing, but we're going to get it going and start working on our board. Okay, now wait for that one to turn off and I'll show you what we did. So we took it from that flat square edge after cutting it with the jigsaw on the table over there, and we refined it to make it a nice rounded over edge. Now it's not perfectly rounded over. I wanted to stop and show you what I was doing. You can see on there, it's mostly all the way rounded over, but there's some areas, you can see that flat bit right there, needs to be worked on. It's not quite right, but that's all right. I want to stop and show you what I was doing and tell you about what I was doing. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do these tails also. I'd like to also mention this thing, wildly dangerous. It spins at a high rate of speed, so you don't want things dangling in front of it. You don't want to catch something on the front of it either. It's just wild. I didn't realize how fast this thing was going to go when the first time I cranked it up. So just something to be aware of. If you get your knuckles on it, it's going to be gone. Your knuckles will be gone. So anyways, I digress. Let me keep going. The last thing that I like to tighten up is these edges right here where the truck holes are. I like to try to straighten those out to the best I can because they can be a little rough sometimes. It's hard to get it with the big bag. I have the small one. Obviously I don't have the space to set up the small one. Doesn't take but a second to get that going and get that process taken care of. Now what that does for me, so it's going to save me some effort right here when I start doing the hand sanding with the orbital sander. We'll get this, gets this cleaned up right there. There you go, you can see it. So it's smoothed over right here. Like I was saying, it's hard to get it with that big bag sander. So I'll typically have to try something a little funky with my technique to make it work. Alright, so we are ready to begin hitting it with the orbital sander. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please let me know in the comments section right here below. I really do appreciate you guys joining me and being here with me while I create these skateboards. I commonly seem to have camera issues, but you know, I guess who doesn't in this particular field. There we go. Trying to get everything straight, but you know, it's just not working for me. Okay, that's straight as I can get it, I think. There we go. Okay, like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. We're going to start sanding this one, but you need to have power. That is important. Okay, got power, got power. Now, as far as sanding grits go, that's 220, that's the finishing sanding. Thunder? I can't tell. I use 120. Doesn't really matter what kind of 120 you use, but right now, 120 is going to help even out some of these bits here. If I could get a better shot, I would show you just a little bits of unevenness that I couldn't get with the bag. Now, if I wanted to, I could probably turn the bag into a 220 and go with it on that specs. But that's a lot of effort. And I don't have the space to have two bags, or else I might do that too. Okay. Got that sucker clamped in there. We're ready to hit it with the sander. Now all I'm trying to do is clean this up and just get rid of any kind of rough parts that might just look bad, be bad, feel bad. Okay, like I said, it doesn't take long to get through that. Now if you could see, you can compare this side to what we just sanded to this side, which we're about to do next. You can see the striation marks from the sander, and that really helps smooth it out. So now we're ready to hit that side with 220, this side with 120. I like to do things a little old school over here. A little traditional. Nothing wrong with the traditional process, you know what I mean? So that is what I prefer to do. Plus I get to put my hands on every part of it. I know from top to bottom what this thing is capable of and not capable of. go. They're starting to look real nice over here. Real nice. Okay. Now that we have the 120 on the edges, we're going to hit 120 on the top. Now we're just trying to get rid of pencil marks. It's already pretty smooth all the way around, so we're not going to have to hit it very much. I don't even think I'll have to clamp it down on this one. Okay, sorry, I have sawdust in my eye. I apologize. So now we got the top side done, we're going to switch over and do the bottom side. Now we're doing the same thing. I forgot to mention also, when I get these, they're already hit with 220, so they're already butter smooth, ready for paint if I were to choose that. Now obviously I'm not going to rely on it still being perfect after I've done it, put it through the press and brought it home, stacked it up, and sat here to dry out for weeks, so I still want to hit it. So I'm going to hit it again just to make sure everything's good and smooth. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, or why I'm doing it, please let me know in the comments section below. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. We're going to continue and hit this bottom side now. Okay. Now, we got this thing feeling pretty nice. Alright. I like the way we're looking on this. So we're going to move on to the 220 aspect of the sanding process. Now if you notice, I stopped for a minute and looked at the nose of it. It looked like it was uneven to me. I'm still not 100% sure that it's not too tall on this side right here. It's hard to say. I think it's good though. I mean, sometimes you just gotta put it on the ground to see. But it looks good. I think it's just my eyes playing with it. Could be all the sawdust in it, I don't know. Okay. Now, I'm going to rolling stack. Get our 220. Put it on our sander. And I'm running this thing full blast. There's no need to dance around with a smaller setting, a lower setting, just full speed, let her rip. Alright, we're looking pretty good here. Looking like a skateboard here. Now I forgot to mention, when you start hitting it with 220, that's when you want to start being delicate, really refining any kind of edge that you're going to have, and checking over every square inch of this thing, just to make sure that it's good and solid all the way around. My trouble spots are usually right around here where the flex or the curve is, but we look pretty good. Now, the last thing I like to do, if I can find it right here, maybe. Here we go. Hit it with some hand sander. Just a little bit, just to make sure there's no more burrs. Make sure we're nice and perfect. Mostly just on the edge is what I'm looking at here. Alright, I see one spot right here I'm going to have to get. Okay. Gotta also make sure you peel off the masking tape. I use the masking tape to help hold them together when I'm doing the gluing process, because without it, it's just a nightmare, let me tell you. It is no fun for anybody. You could probably sand this off, which probably should have done, honestly. I'll do that with the next piece, make it a little easier. Try to be a little quicker with this so you can see what I'm doing. think we're good. No, we're not. There's always a little bit more. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I do appreciate you guys being here and joining me in the workshop while I continue to make these skateboards or mess up these skateboards. Just depends. Sometimes I'm doing good, sometimes not so much. Okay. Now we're going to continue with the hand sanding like I was doing before I rudely interrupted myself, trying to make sure that everything was just right. But like I said, I always enjoy making these skateboards, even if I mess them up and have mistakes. That's just part of the process. And I still enjoy it, regardless. I enjoy when somebody wants something specific in their mind. They have something in their mind specific, you know, a certain shape, a certain size that they're looking for. And I can help bring that to reality, which I've kind of done with this one. This one was a copy of a board that I had made a while back. I just had it sitting around for whatever reason, I can't remember. I think it was because it was a super steep, and not many people are wanting a super steep concave. If I could find it, I thought I had it. Here it is. I found it. This is what we're copying right here. This has super steep concave. Look at that thing. So if you put something flat, like a ruler, onto it, right in the center, see that amount of concave there? Look at that. Now, let's compare that to a mellow. See that? See that amount of difference there? That is the concave. Super steep is a deep dish pizza of skateboards. This, you will feel your foot flex onto it when you're trying to do certain tricks. That amount of flex is just too much for me. So, super steeps, not my cup of tea. Some people love them though. Some people will only get a super steep. The steeper, the better, and I applaud them for that because that's awesome. Okay. We're just about done with this here skateboard we've been working on. So we're going to be starting our next one here in just a minute. Yeah, there we go. Look at that thing. It's pretty nice looking, right? So let me know. Would you ride it? Would you take it for a spin? Take it for a cruise? I know I sure would. This thing, 10 and a half inches wide. I feel like I'm swimming on this thing. Like I got all the space I could ever need. So I think the customers can be very, very happy with this particular board. I don't know what I'm going to do for the graphic yet. We haven't really talked about that. I think he just wants the basic Bakwuds graphic like on that other board over there. So I'll talk with him a little bit more, maybe do something a little special. But let's step over here. You see that red boy right there? Ooh, right there. That's what we're going for. Now it's been a while since I've shaped up something like this with the jagged edges. Look at that thing. Ooh. And the pointy top. This thing is literally pointy. So, yeah. Could be fun. Could be something. I think I'm going to set up one of these right now. Now I cannot remember the width on this one, so we're going to have to check it. There we go. So we're showing 9 inches. 9-inch width. Do you think that's a good width for this one? If so, let me know. I think 9 might be just a little small. I might go like 9 3/4. 9 3/4. Anyway, I think that's going to be a good size. Now the wheelbase on this one is your standard. Well, yeah, standard 14.25. I like 14.25. That's a good wheelbase for me. That's about what my shoulders are, which if you didn't know, you want your wheelbase to be about your shoulder width. Now that's not from the end of your shoulder to the end of your shoulder. That's kind of the axis of where your shoulder and your arm meet. So for me, if you look at that, right there, 14, oh, okay. Get it right where it needs to be. 14.25 is almost perfect for me. Almost perfect. Now, everybody's different. Bigger foot, bigger board, what have you. Do what feels right for you. That's all I can say. If it feels comfortable, keep doing it. Now, I think this should be a mellow board. I don't know if I want to do a twin, mostly because it's buried behind all that crap right there. I'm not trying to dig that out. So, I got a 12-incher right here. But I think that's going to be, it's going to be a little wild for a 12. But I think we're going to go for a mellow. But, maybe, we can make it out of this one. Now this one went into the press really funny. My tape broke, and it slid around and got all kinds of weird. Now that happens sometimes. Oddly enough, it did not happen to this side. I don't know why. I guess something was amiss. You hear that? Well, I just don't know. Oh, I found it. Okay. I keep getting distracted by other dumb things, so I apologize. Now, we're going to try to shape this thing up. We have a little bit of time so we can start pulling our measurements for our different things here. Now, pencil, very important. Sharp, very important also. Got our tape measure. And we're going to pull our center from the edge of the board. You can't see that. You can't see that. What am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. See the edge right there. Okay. So we want to pull from the center to the edge. If I could get the tape to work with me. This is the worst part sometimes. Just getting this thing. You'd think after all these I'd make a jig or something. And I have one. It works. It worked. But not consistently. So this old tried and true method is what I'd like to do best. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I do appreciate you guys being here and joining me in the Bakwuds workshop. Sorry. On this Sunday, October, whatever it is, 12th, I think? 11th? What did I say? I don't remember, honestly. I get my days and nights mixed up. Okay. So what I did is I found 18 inches, which this whole thing is 36. I found the halfway point, 18 inch, on both sides. And then I put my middle mark to find, well, where is it? Dead center, right there. There it is. And now from dead center, I can pull out my wheelbase measurement. Now for this one, that's 14.25. I'm gonna go something a little funky. I'm gonna go like 14.3/8. Yeah, 14.3/8. How about 14.5/8? Let's go that. So for 14.5/8, I'm gonna have to go 7 inches and then half of 5/8, which we're gonna say what, 5/16, I think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just don't remember, honestly. I'm sure somebody out there is like, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16ths. I bet you. Nope, that is 15 in ginormous. So that's too much. Let's try another one. Let's try 7 3/16. And then over here, 7 3/16. There we go. 14.3/8. What I should have done in the first place. It's a good size. 7 3/16. And this side, 7 3/16. Now, once I have those, I can draw out my line that will make up the beginning of the trucks. The beginning, I don't think that really makes sense. Where the trucks start. Does that make sense? Maybe? I don't know. A little crooked, but it's okay. So, like I said, we're going to draw out our center line here. Being very precise to make sure it's nice, perfect, straight, even, because that's what we want. If nothing else went right, this should go right every time. So, now that we've done that, we're going to find our same distance on this way. Turn that a little bit. There we go. Okay. So for this, I know that these are smaller, 10.5, so I'm going to go 5.5. It's just an even round number for me. A lot easier than trying to find dead center every time. I can just figure it out just like that. Okay. Next side. I'm going to flip it over to 5.5. That side. 5.5. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Now we have that going. We can draw our center line between those two marks that we just created. Now this tells us exactly square and center of the board that we have, and that's also taking into account all this junk messed up spot. And we're dead center here, so I know our trucks will be perfect on both sides. Okay. Roll out. We can roll this one out. Nice and smooth, like I said, that's what you want to see. Now, there you go, you see you got your cross mark right there, top and bottom. You can't really see that one. There you go. Now we're ready to put some truck holes in it. We're going to turn over to our next little station here. Right there. Again, there's just junk everywhere, like always. You know me, having all the junk here. Okay. Oh, getting wild and loose with the camera here. All these damn extension cords I have on this thing. Okay. Like my table, it's a box. This is my jig I've created. Quite proud of it, as it is a perfect representation of skateboard trucks. Now I have in, because that would be kingpin, in, match it up, and then there you go. Perfect holes. At least, that's the idea. And I also test it with that truck, that same truck every time once I do this, just to make sure I'm correct. Okay. Now all I'm doing is lining up top with the middle. Okay, so not many people are just going to be doing this with a drill and a template like I made. Generally, people are going to use one of these, a drill press. That's the ideal thing to use for this process. I don't have the space to use it yet. So when I get into the new shop, I can't wait to get that thing set up because it is nice. I got a sweet deal on it. So I'm pretty psyched. It's going to be better than using this. But this gets it done, so I'm not mad at it. Okay. Alright, now that we got our holes, we got to test them. But another step I like to do here is I like to give a little extra to make sure, there we go, that these are all leaned out nicely. So I'll come back and hit them one more time. Okay. Now, we're going to take our trusty truck and match it up. And it would appear I did it right. On that side also, just right. So, okay, if I'm not going to break everything, now that we have that all figured out, we're ready to start figuring out what we want to do for our shape. Alright, so we only have a little bit of time left, but it's okay. We're going to keep working through it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know in the comments section below. Otherwise, I do appreciate you guys being here and sticking with me while I build this next shape, which is this bad boy right here. Okay. Same deal on that last board as I did. I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to take the nose, which is generally a steeper concave, and I'm going to turn that into the tail. Now, why am I doing that, you say? Because this, as a functional nose, is just not going to happen. It could happen, like, okay, so you could probably pop a kickflip if you wanted to. I could probably make it happen. But, like, do you want to? Do you? I don't know. I think it'd be a little sketchy myself. Okay. Maybe every once in a while. Okay, I admit. Every once in a while, yeah, I could do it. but not all the time. Okay. Now, we have that lined up. Just about where we want it. I'm going to add one more in here. Very expensive, very important 16 penny nails. I'm all about making the process work, and whatever it takes to make the process work is what I'm going to use. So, I'll use that to the best of my ability. Now, we're going to draw this bad boy onto this board, but I got to also take into account these were not perfect when I first did them. They're pretty close, but they're not exactly the same dimensions as it should be. I think. This one might be right, that other one might not be. Either way, we're not going to take it a chance, we're going to measure it after we get done drawing it out. Always wild drawing these kind of funny shapes, you know, because these points are very hard to keep when you start going to shape it on the bag, especially. It's almost impossible to keep that point. You end up rounding it over quite a lot, and it just becomes a little nub, which isn't bad, you know, it's cool. Okay, now, we've got that pretty well drawn out. And take out our very fancy nails. We're going to set this aside as we're done with that for right now. Okay. Now this is what we got after doing that. The light isn't helping, is it? Maybe that'll help if I turn it off. No, you still can't see it very well. There we go. Appreciate that, Ronaldo. Sorry, messed that up. So yeah, I think these points on the side, I agree with you. These are going to be pretty badass. It is wild on the ankles though, so you gotta be careful with that. Now, it doesn't look like it's even on the board itself, but that's okay. We should be even within our spacing of our trucks here. So I'm going to check that right now. Make sure that we're spot on with where we need to be. Now I was thinking I was going to make it wider, but with the way that this board kind of turned up, I don't think that's going to happen. Alright, 4.5. 4.5, that's almost perfectly spot on. Now this one, I did this on purpose, it's just a little bit less than 4.5. I'm sorry, it's a 16th more than 4.5. I was looking at it upside down. And 16th more than 4.5. So this thing is almost spot on perfect. Now, our length. So our length, we're looking a little long right now. This thing is 33 inches, 33.5 inches long. That's way too long. Yeah, that tail is like 7 1/4 or 7 3/4. So we're gonna just redraw that real quick. That's just way too much. Okay, as long as I get most of this pretty well lined up here, doesn't have to be perfect. We're just trying to get an outline of what we want here. Okay, now, we've done that. We've made the tail much shorter. There we go. Right there. We took it from that. Ooh, that light is bad. That light is bad. Alright. Now, 7-inch. That's much better. That's going to be much more manageable. So I'll just get rid of that other line. Now I'll bet anything that that nose is stupid long too. That thing, 7.5 inches long. It's going to be hard to mess with that one though. I don't know that I'm going to be able to change that too much. So, we're going to let it ride. Okay, now, 4 inches. 4 inches. That one's good. This one's 2 inches. That one's 2 inches. That one is 2.5. That one is 2.5. So we're good. We're ready to cut this bad boy. Okay. Like I said, I appreciate you guys joining me on this Bakwuds workshop adventure while we're building this shape and this other shape that we worked on today. Which, if you didn't get a chance to see it earlier, this is what we made earlier today. It's a nice big boy, 10.5 inches wide, 31 3/4, I think is what we ended up with. No, I was wrong. 32 1/4. So maybe still a little long. I'll check with the customer, see if he wants that. If not, it's no problem to shorten that tail or the nose up, because I've taken all I want to out of the tail, 6 3/4. That's about perfect. The nose right now is 6 3/4. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for like a twin size. I might leave that just as is if the customer wants it. But either way, I do appreciate you guys joining me for this build today. Join us tomorrow about 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that. We're going to cut this bad boy out that we just made. And we're going to try and keep these points as jagged as we can, like this bad boy. Right there. So we could have a death machine, basically. Same thing with right here. I'll try to keep these points. But it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard. I'm going to tell you that right now. But either way, thank you for joining me. And I hope to see you guys back here tomorrow at about 7 p.m. So thank you.